Good morning and welcome to Presence of Light with Charlie Riverman. It's always a pleasure to be here on Saturday morning with each of you, welcoming you to my little talks here. And this week is not like any other, as it has been just an amazing week for all of us, I think. And so I will just let it flow as it arose this morning in looking back over the week and looking forward to next week. So I'm live. The picture is good. I tested this out. This is a computer I had to rebuild over the week. Looks like I got a thumbs up, so I'm going to say somebody can hear me, which is always a good thing. It's good morning, Marcos. It's a funny thing when you do a show and it doesn't get recorded, the sound. The video is unimportant. I'm not the prettiest thing to look at, but it's the talk that's important. So I thank you for all of you for showing up today. I live in Maine in the United States, and it's a beautiful, much cooler day today. We've been through a heat wave, which is always taxing for us Northern Hemisphere beings to move through, and there is much worse around the world. So Joe and Shannon, welcome. Which was interesting this morning as I arose. I had to check out all this sort of new technology. It's not new, but it's been recongregated, rebuilt from scratch this week. I had a computer that has been going haywire, a laptop. I fixed that. Anyway, the frustration level, as I said in a talk earlier this morning, was surprisingly calm. And normally I would have noticed a lot of agitation, a lot of frustration, and this week I did not. And what that says to me is that somehow we have moved through a period where some of us are now getting to experience life from a much calmer perspective, even though the chaos around us is building and throwing rockets in the air and etc., and disturbing a lot of people. So the first message I got this morning was about grace. And I want to read a quote. It was in Oprah Winfrey. It was during a meditation that she mentioned grace being unchanging, constant kindness of the universe. And I want you to feel into that, grace as a constant kindness. And I thought there was a unique way of expressing it. Because many of us are feeling grace right now and may not be the most prominent factor in our lives, but we're beginning to tap into it on levels and in moments when we least expect it. And it's kind of startling to have that feeling of grace or that kindness when we should be, or when we would normally be frustrated or angry or wanting to run away or wanting to hide. And so I look at that as the shifting energies that we've been coming through. And we're going to go through more this weekend with the new moon and the eclipse. And then Anne Lamott also as a writer she wrote, "I do not at all understand the mystery of grace, only that it meets us where we are, but does not leave us where it found us." And so here was the second expression of that moving into something new, a newness. And that's just what I've been experiencing this week, a new self, a new understanding of myself, a new understanding of my relationship with the world, a new understanding of my relationship with all my fellow humans, with all of life. And I want you to think about that in your own lives. It might not be as sort of fluffy and calm as mine, but I'm here to assure you that it happens. And that's part of what my talks are, is I'm not an expert on anything. And that word stuck with me when somebody asked me if I was an expert. And I said, no, I'm not an expert. All I'm doing is living my life every day to try to be the most whole, the most balanced I can be in any given situation. And I think this is what we're all asking of ourselves now, is to take this time to look at what triggers us, look what comes up that makes us angry, and then go within and ask ourselves to be brave enough to face, where have we met these dragons before? And I don't like the word dragons, but where have we met these fierce opponents to our grace? And how do we work through those? So as I continue to gather information and talk about it, I realize that within each of us is this amazing potential to overcome everything that chaos, confusion, control can throw at us. It no longer has power. When I say it, fear no longer has the power that it used to have. And it's diminishing daily, minute by minute, with each one of us tapping into our own hearts and our own presence and realizing that most of our fears stem from something not so much in the moment, but triggered by something in the moment, but coming through lifetime of experience. We've been programmed to respond to fear. And it's been done very well, whether intentionally or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is that we come to realize that fear is not as powerful as it appeared. That we have more power through grace, through kindness, than fear ever had. All we have to do is accept it within our own hearts. Learn to be kind to ourselves and then extend that to others. And as more and more of us do that, what happens is the fear can only flare up like a fire at times, and then it dissipates. It goes away. Kindness, compassion, heartfelt sincerity, honesty with ourselves as to how do I really feel about this? And know that if I'm not liking something, I do not have to participate in it. I don't have to do it just because 7 other people in the room say, oh, this is what we're going to do today. I have a voice. I have an honest feeling in my heart. And if it doesn't resonate, I have the power to say no. It's a very powerful word, no. And we're learning that. We're learning that every day, each and every one of us. And it isn't about going out and protesting and standing up and saying, no war, no hate, no whatever. It's within us. It's saying no within us and saying, I own that no. Owning it. Owning that feeling of no. And even sometimes we get scared to express it. It's okay. Your voice will come. You start with small things and then afterwards you feel, I should have said no. Because most of the time we do something we didn't want to do, we feel like crap afterwards on some level. Who did that to us? We did. We need to stop it. We need to say no and learn how to say it in ways that are kind and compassionate if possible. So with that said, what we're coming into is the darkness of the new moon, where the moon disappears from sight basically, and it's a good time to go within. And I pulled a card this morning, a Kuan Yin card. And it's, well, there it is. Hear the yellow tiger mother. And I said, well, this is interesting. We have Grace comes up first. Now we have tiger mother. What does tiger mother mean? And I said, wow, that's it. So I'm going to read to you what came, the first part of the card describing Hear the yellow tiger mother from the Kuan Yin card. Sometimes we must be strong and hold true, whilst all around us seems to be shifting and changing. The yellow tiger mother, Kuan Yin in her guardian role, is roaring divine sound within you. She asks you to hear her, to remember that you are a powerful being of light, and even whilst you are in flow with universal forces, your strong roots help you to be at peace with your truth, standing your ground whilst your light shines true. In our surrender to divine forces, there are times when we must be flexible and in flow. And there are times when the surrender is into holding strong and being true to our inner knowing that there are truths that we know are worthy of the effort to grow strong enough to honor them in our lives. These are the truths of kindness, compassion, the right of each individual to be spiritually free and loved, and more. The yellow tiger mother sounds her roaring note within you. She is a fierce, protective tigress, and yellow is her golden strength and wisdom. She urges you to listen for her sound within and trust yourself. You know when you need to stand your ground and not to be swayed. You are more powerful, strong, and courageous than you realize. Strength is not stubbornness or resistance. It is holding firm to what you believe or feel in your heart to be true, and in time, you will come to realize the wisdom of your courage. Your strength at this time is needed, like a protective shield providing nurturing to a young plant. Your strength and refusal to be dissuaded from your truths helps your dreams and higher paths continue to manifest. Allow yourself to hear the tiger mother as she gives you power, strength, and knowing. Be brave and stay true to yourself, beloved. And so the synchronicity of that, of pulling that card at random, I'm not, when I do this, I don't look for any specific theme. I just open my heart to the day and ask what what needs to be presented. And so what she's expressing is that the divine is always within us and always ready to assist us in seeking our highest self. And the power of the tiger is, really it's about a reminder of overcoming obstacles and fears, reclaiming your place of power. It's about representing your ability to manage your emotions, especially your strong emotions of like or dislike, and taking control of those and not allowing them to be persuaded or manipulated by others. This is what we're going to really step into after this new moon. Okay? What we're being called to do is to stand in our power, is to really stand up and express who we are and not live in fear. And it's also a time when we're gathering not only within our hearts, but we're finding others in our community that are very similar, and yet sometimes they have differences of opinion, but we sense that in their heart, their ultimate goal is kindness, compassion, and moving into this, what I call the new earth. We are creating it moment by moment. One of the things I wrote, I think I wrote it at the top of the page here, was each sacred moment builds upon each other, connecting and strengthening our new collective experience in order that we may catch all of the abundance entering into this field of heart resonance. This is what we're doing. We're creating, co-creating, probably for the first time in thousands of years, a heart resonance that encompasses the whole planet. Not just my local neighborhood, not just my town, not just my country, the whole world. It's powerful. You are powerful. You are a powerful part of it. Each one of us need to tap into this inner strength, this inner tiger, this vitality, this regeneration, and say, wow, what can I do? Who can I be? Who am I? Why didn't I recognize this before? Question everything and realize that right now we have the opportunity to change the world very rapidly. I know the world will tell you that's not possible. Scientists will tell you that's not possible. Governments will tell you that's not possible. The boss for whom you work will tell you that's impossible. They'll all tell you it's impossible because for them, this is all there is. They're not willing to explore the potential of who they truly are. As Alberto Villoldo says it, is or I'm going to paraphrase what he says, transforming old dreams allows you to begin to live with a new sacred one. And so this is what we're doing. We're returning to our sacredness. However you want to look at that. We're turning it back into who we truly are, which we don't really know yet. We're learning. Each one of us are learning with every action and reaction that comes up. We're digging deep. And for many of you, you know, it's been tough. old life experiences come up, old friends, old enemies, your children who, may not have spoken to you for a long time, ex-wives and husbands who are, for some reason, now want to connect with you. We don't know. Parents, it doesn't matter. This is the old that's coming up and asking to be forgiven or healed. It may not present to you like that. It may present to you as bringing up your old fears, your own judgments, things people said to you, actions they may have perpetrated against you. All of those things are for your review. I remember when they did, I don't know, maybe somewhere in church, they said, well, when you die, you will get your life review. Well, this is very similar, but you're not dying to get it. And you have the power to now look at that and forgive yourself. You, as the divine being, the divine child of that which we call God, the creator, source, universe. This is the gift that's being given to us now. This is the gift we asked for. We've been asking for this for a long time. And now we're beginning to receive it. So please don't turn it away. Tap into it at whatever level of experience you can. And know that there are many of us out here who are all doing the same. Some of us are a little further ahead of you in the process or ahead of me in the process. And we look to them and we watch them. We watch their actions. We listen to their words. Accept what resonates, and what doesn't resonate, let it go. We're not here to make anybody right or wrong. We're all here to evolve collectively into the new humanity that will dwell on the new earth. And we're doing this for the future generations who are coming. This is not an idle just statement or thought. Each one of us have tuned in and have signed up for this. Whether you remember it or you're not, you didn't, doesn't matter. You're here now. You're in this flesh. It's shifting. It's changing. You know it. You feel it. I'm not going to tell you your symptoms. As if you look at people who talk about the symptoms, just about everything under the sun is happening to people. And it's happening at a more profound awareness. It's been happening to people all along, but they weren't aware. And this is what's coming about. This is what the forgiveness, this is what the grace is about showing us, allowing us to see, lifting the veil of illusion that has been placed over this. We're getting to see things somewhat more personal, on a personal level. So when we start judging, who are we judging then? We're judging ourselves, which we've been doing all along, but it just was so obvious that it was somebody else doing this, not me. The mirror has been turned around. You only judge yourself. So my heart says, stop. Stop judging yourself. Open your heart. Receive, receive, receive. And I want to read something by Julie of Light Omega. It's from the Book of Unity, Voice of Oneness, which is a calendar of things. You can find her at lightomega.org and email and get this calendar. And it's a daily quote that comes out. It was written. It's amazing, some amazingly beautiful writings. Anyway, this is day 6 as our calendar year started again. When the cobwebs of night are washed away, and the sight of the new is visible to your inner eyes, then joy shall arise, and all darkness vanish. For your heart shall know that the time of emergence is here, and that all of life is gathering to celebrate. That was today's reading, or yesterday's reading, whatever was on my email this morning. These are signposts along this path that keep going. And I apologize, I can't see anybody on the sidebar, so I'm not going to. Oh, here I go. I see some people here. So I just want to thank you all for showing up today, and just taking a little time to listen and trust that what you're feeling in your heart as I say these things it's not me. It's not about me. It's about all of us. And that each of us can start tuning into our hearts at a deeper level. And especially after this new moon, there will be an increased opening of our hearts. And this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm hearing. And in that opening, we have the golden opportunity to be the tiger, to be the golden tiger, and take that and run with that and flow with that. The water, tiger's related to the water, and flow with that. Become more of who you are. Be gentle, be kind to yourself. Know that there will be moments which are very turbulent and very rough to move through, just like the rapids in the river. But then you'll come to that quiet, still sort of lagoon. The water's still flowing, but you'll get a little rest. Stay there for a while, and then continue your journey. Each of us have the power and potential to change the world around us by changing the world within us. And if you can hear those words in your heart, hold on to them. By changing the world within us, we change the world without us, or around us, not meaning without, but outside of us. It's important how we clarify our words now and realize that in the things we say, the energy takes action very quickly. So be careful in your words, in your speech, and also in your thoughts, because that's, if you think before you speak and act, or you bring it through from your higher self, you're less likely to have to make as many corrections. But we will be called to make corrections. And the quicker we can make them, the more adept we become at listening before we speak. I have this problem. I've been running my mouth for years. And it's okay. But now I have to be more attentive. And you may have noticed that I've slowed down my talking. I'm more relaxed in talking. And that's because of all of this inner growth and all of this crazy energy that's outside of us. It has, in many ways, forced me, without resistance, to sit still and to watch, to observe, and then think about how am I going to react. I've not done that in years, probably since I was a child and I was in a strange place. And that's what I feel like. And I think that's probably a good analogy. Thank you for my guides for that analogy. We're strange. We're in a strange place, and where everything around us looks familiar, yet it's not. And in that space, we can only rely on our hearts directing our minds. And so with that, I'm complete. I love you all. It's a blessing to be here and talk with you. And know that around the world, each of you in your own way are going to go through this process just as I am. That I'm not alone, you're not alone. And even if we never meet together, we are all one anyway. And with that, I don't think I have anything else to read here, which is other than the grace of Source is constantly flowing. It has no agenda or preference. Each of us are a part of grace, whether or not we feel or sense it. It is the support system of all life from which everything emerges and is beneficent and beautiful. And with that, I'm complete. I wish all of that beneficence and beauty be upon you. And I love you. I thank you. I respect you. Enjoy the new moon in whatever way you choose. Bless the waters, both outside of you and within you. And know that on the other side of this, we're going to come out sparkling clean and full of energy to carry forth the new presence from within us. See you all next week. Blessings to each of you for showing up. And I'm glad my week of working on technology worked. Bye-bye.